Well, we know definitively that Steve Bannon either lied before the House Intelligence Committee under oath, or he lied at my trial under oath, taking the two documents, the first one having only recently been declassified. There's no dispute whatsoever. The Bible tells us that it's a sin to gloat, so I'm not gloating over this, but Steve Bannon betrayed me at trial for some reason. Never made much sense, but his testimony at my trial, which I think helped seal my conviction on these bogus charges, was the prosecution's hole card. So why Steve Bannon lied at the behest of Mueller's dirty cops remains a question. At the same time, there's a prosecutorial question here of misconduct, because the government never disclosed to us at the time of Bannon's testimony against me that he was under federal investigation. If you read the Bannon indictment, he was clearly under investigation just prior to the period before my trial. That's a Brady violation because that information could have been used to impeach Bannon upon the stand. Just one of many examples of prosecutorial misconduct during my trial.
As far as speaking of your trial, you decided not to pursue it. What's next for Roger Stone?
Well, I very reluctantly decided not to pursue my appeal, simply because nothing in the fact pattern had changed. I had a corrupted appeals court. This is the appeals court that, despite all legal precedents, despite the current policies of the Department of Justice and the Bureau of Prisons, wanted to send me to a COVID-19 infested prison on July 14th. That very same prison had just released a pedophile, a child pornographer, a serial rapist, an armed bank robber to protect them from COVID-19. But the court essentially ruled that all the federal legal precedents, all of the current regulations did not apply to Roger Stone. They applied to Michael Avenatti, Michael Cohen, Rick Gates. They were all released to home confinement, but I was to be sent immediately to prison. So the president, in essence, commuted my sentence as both an act of justice, because he knew I didn't get a fair trial, and as an act of mercy, because this was essentially a death penalty. At 67 years old, with a history of respiratory problems, I don't think I would have survived in prison to see my appeal go to court. At the same time, this very same court, as you probably know, ruled that Don McGahn does have to testify for the Congress, but Hillary Clinton does not have to testify regarding her emails. This is the court system in D.C. is epically politicized. This is the same court that refused to dismiss the charges against General Flynn, which should have been dismissed long ago. And then, even if I won at the appeals level, I would be at a new trial in front of the same judge. And I think that judge, Judge Amy Berman Jackson, demonstrated her deep bias against me. So why would the trial be any different than the last lynching? So I had to make a hard decision. I would like to get exonerated. I'd like to clear my name, but I could not get a fair trial in front of the same judge with the same set of circumstances, and therefore I made a decision that is both best for my family and best for me. I have to get back to having a normal life. I have to get back to making a living to provide for my family. It was a very tough decision because I'm a fighter and I wanted to fight. But it was just unrealistic. It's a rigged system in D.C., both at the appeals court level and at the trial court level, and therefore the outcome would have likely been the same, the lack of a fair trial and another guilty verdict.